Hello, everyone. Michelle Melendez here on Big Island with Michael Tiavana. And this is going to be the fantastic news that's going on. There's so much news out
It's a
there.
miracle.
It's a miracle. So share with us what's happening in the world because I don't watch the news, you guys. No way.
I followed the changes in the power structure of the planet, and governments around the world are being toppled by the people, and they're putting a people's government in place.
Right there.
In kind of started in Nepal, one of the holier places on the planet, Kathmandu and all that. And those people rose up against their corrupt government and put in place their own president and cabinet. They
When did they
burned,
do that?
I think, 2 months ago.
How did they do it?
They hit the streets and they surrounded the parliament and they actually lit it on fire. They burned down their buildings of power and structure. So they're really starting over. Then it spread to places like France.
Now, why did they do it? Like, what was happening for them to make such a feat?
Um, my my personal opinion is they're rejecting the tenets of the Great Reset that the World Economic Forum and the UN are putting out through taxation. They're taxing the people on the premise that they need to do this to stop global warming, and they're changing people's lives, and they're taxing them into poverty because of global warming. They're telling they can't drive cars, they gotta um, go back to rickshaws or whatever, so it started in Nepal. It's already been going on in Sri Lanka and Morocco, Madagascar, Tanzania, Japan.
What's going on in Japan?
Big, they forced in Japan and France, they forced the government to stop and have new elections. They have new elections coming up to reelect. They just didn't overthrow the government and everyone had to walk out. But they are having emergency elections in a couple more months. So they all around the world, and the people are rising up against the status quo, which is headed towards a great reset. And in Bulgaria this last week, 1.8 million people in the streets. Wow.
That's huge.
The government's over. They walked out. So sometimes the government walks away or they flee for their lives. Sometimes they have new elections. In Brussels at this moment and in London at this moment, the farmers are back again in the capitals and they've taken over the capital buildings and infrastructure of their government. So the whole area of London is sealed off by these tractors and they're dumping all kinds of garbage on the government buildings and they're spraying them with
Manure?
yeah, sludge from their farms. But the one in Europe is, the one in London is of interest because not only did you have tens of thousands of tractors in London, you had 10 army tanks and soldiers protesting. So
Wow.
more of the
Is
military
on our side. Is on
is
people's
is
side.
is protesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So if you go to a protest, get behind your local tank and follow it because the police don't know what to do with tanks, uh,
No doubt. That's amazing.
and you'll win. So the protests are happening all over the world every day. You won't hear about this on the mainstream at all, but there's countless social media posts about what's going on, and just follow it and just revel in that the caterpillar is dying in this metamorphosis stage and get busy actively creating the butterfly, the new world that you've always wanted to live by and live in, the freedom that it brings, the liberty that it shouts out, the opportunities that we all have when we live in more of a state of freedom. So you can rebel yourself by living, well, in liberty. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't want to cause too much commotion, but just be active.
Yeah. And one way to do that, you guys, is join Blossom Inner Wellness. We're doing a special event at the beginning of January here on the Big Island. I'm going to be live streaming it. I can't say what it is here on this channel because this channel always YouTube anyway. Rumble, I will put the information out on Rumble and BitChute, but YouTube censors me like mad. I'm in YouTube jail again,
Is that
as I've been.
Stand Together Hawaii?
Stand Together Hawaii is another website that I use, but Blossom Inner Wellness is the main one.
Great.
And you have a free freedom school that teaches you a lot about what's going on. My book, deathofreedom.com, you can get that. That'll share basically the entire foundation of how the United States of America turned into the United States Corporation and what actions we as uh, living men and women under God, protected by the Constitution, can do. And there are actions that we can do to bring back our freedoms. Here on the islands, right now, there's a law, a biosecurity law, that allows the government right now to come in and confiscate your property based on a biosecurity issue of a fly, a mold, whatever they want to say. They just know there's no due process. They don't have to take you to court. They don't have to give you warrants. They can walk in, confiscate your land, confiscate your livestock, confiscate any goods you have right in this present moment. And then the governor, he can actually tell you what they want to give you to pay for your property. And if you don't like that number, then you'll get 75% of that number and you'll have 6 months to sue the government to try to get your property back. That's a law right now, but we do have remedy. It's called citizen memorandums. We just need numbers. We need numbers. So you can join either standtogetherhawaii.com or Blossom Inner Wellness, both of those. Join the email list because I will be giving a remedy for this, but it's sending an email to your legislative person, the citizen memorandum, where we want to amend the biosecurity law that removes that section, allowing the government to do that. And if that does happen, we can sue them because that is absolutely against the Constitution. And the Constitution is supreme law of the land. This is not, it is not, you cannot bypass the Constitution. But if people do not invoke the Constitution, then it's no, then it just sits there. It's a document that's not being used, but we can use it, you guys. We do have remedy for that. So join blossominnerwellness.com or standtogetherhawaii.com, either one of those two. And I'm going to be giving actions for us to take here, not just on the islands, but you can take them also in your area. I'll show you guys how to do it. And that's what we're going to be doing, because we can't just sit on our booties and let the governor be a dictator. He's signed over 90 emergency proclamations, suspended between 40 to 70 laws, no due process, no legislation. He's basically a dictator, and what he's doing is he's setting up the future of other governors to be able to do this, because
Precedent.
nobody's checking him. Nobody's checking him, so we have to check him. So
How many laws is he breaking?
they're suspending. He's suspended between,
Because
I know for sure, about 32. And then I was checking in with ChatGPT and asking him, like, what's the latest? And it said 40 to 70 laws. He's suspended. A governor cannot make or break or suspend laws according to the Constitution. But he is a dictator right now. And the law that allows him to do this it's a statute. It's not a law. It's against the Constitution, and he needs to be checked by the people, because obviously legislation's not doing it.